This gun had a blown receiver coil. Right there. And so I tried to replace it with two 100 millihenry inductors, and I damaged the board in the process, and so I used magnet wire to connect it, and basically the magnet wire is a little too long because it only has a 100-foot hit range. Should be a lot farther than that, and when shot blast is used against it, doesn't register 3 hits in a row normally, even at close range. 2, okay, 1 common, but it's a hard time with 3, so I'm suspecting that the receiver has some noise in it. There's my receiver repair job. You can see the big black coil thing. It's down there. Break anything else. There's the magnet wire. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop off that coil. I did move it down a bit. Well, it's stuck to some tape, so I did tape that up. So all the glue went to a little bit of tape, so I'll cut that. I'll have my coil. So you tied two little inductors together. Yep, now I'm just gonna shorten the magnetic or the leads and try to get it as efficient as possible, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. And my 200 millihenry coils. These two wires did come off. They're connected like so. So the first thing I've done is I actually took a Dremel tool bit like this, and I went right here, and I scratched right there. So now I've got, since the tracings are broken for it actually attached to the coil, I've got the little part right there to complete the bridge, because there are other tracings, and that little capacitor right there, little mini one, is supposed to connect to the lead of this capacitor through the tracing, but since it's broken, I'm gonna take this magnet wire, first one, where is it? Right there, that one. I'm going to cut it, sand it down a little bit, and solder it right across to complete the tracing. Since those two are connected, and that's where the hole is, this other one, which is connected directly to the capacitor and therefore more durable, I'm going to connect to the coil, so I won't damage the little capacitor. Now I've got the other hole. I've got this little resistor. Pretty sure that's R2. And well, I've just got to be careful with that one. So I'm hoping the capacitor will bear most of the load, that it will take most of the pain. And basically, I'm just going to hang this coil assembly on there, slide the receiver in, and hope for the best. Okay, now I'm going to use drum drill, very low speed, to sand this first wire. And I already did a little sanding before I did the video. But that's basically it. Okay, as you can see by the little alligator clip, you can't see very well, but I've put the little wire down in that gap in the scratched area. Now I'm going to solder it. Alligator clip acts both to hold the wire. Yeah, should be. No. Try this again. No, solder to the board, not to the iron. Okay, well, I think I've done it. Perhaps. Real test, of course, is to see if it comes off. No, it's not. Okay, well, I don't want to bother with that anymore. You know. Okay, so where is my clipper? I don't know if this has the right so precision for this giant thing, but I've always had good results with it. Yeah, I don't want to. The fear is when I go try to clip it, I'm going to accidentally leverage it off somehow. So it's clipped. And there we go. Just got that little wire on there to finish connecting the tracing. The tracing goes from there, under that capacitor, right to that first lead right there. And then it goes to the magnet wire, which is where I'll connect the coil. Just want to do it on this big capacitor since I've got more error. I mean, connecting to that little guy right there, not so good. So obviously, I should probably do a test with a meter. And I will, but it looks like it worked. And I was careful to only scratch the tracing and not the area around it, so I don't think it went on any other circuit boards. There should be no short. Well, now it's time to check for shorts, because if there's something wrong with that, you can't quite put this on because I won't have any leeway. Okay, so there's the probes. Ah, yes. Exactly where I want it, right from that little capacitor to the end of the magnet wire.
Going well for you?
Mm-hmm. Now let's see this little. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like this resistor capacitor thing has.
Ian, I need to ask you something. Could you use a better belt?
there. That's not because of the short, because if you see it, I put it on this lower lead. Okay, well, that's just the two components connected. And there's the current that's flowing from that one into the capacitor through that little resistor there. And so from that resistor to the capacitor, through the capacitor, current's not very noticeable. And just testing some random things here. Not really a short there. It's just going through some other component. On this side. Same type of thing. As if there was a short, see something like that. That. Can't even get through the green stuff. That's a good sign. Looks to be sound to me. Okay, now I need to think about how I'm going to lay this out. I've got this wire and I've got that wire. I could potentially solder that directly to the capacitor and then the magnet wire underneath. And that would work as long as it actually fit into the receiver receptacle. Might work. It's a pretty tight fit there though. That's what I'm afraid of. Well, I think that's the way I'm going to go. Solder this directly to capacitor. Solder that to magnet wire. I hope that everything works out properly. Just sanding again. Okay. Let's take off this wire. Definitely have something hold the support here. Guess this is the moment I've been waiting for, eh? A moment I haven't been looking forward to, quite honestly. Oh, no mistakes. Don't want to breathe that stuff. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Now, before I solder that little fragile wire, make sure this thing actually fits. Ooh, what was that? Make sure this thing actually fits in here. That's really important. That's how I broke the tracings last time, trying to get it to fit after it was done. Uh-oh. Like this. There it could be pretty tight though. So it will fit, but we gotta take a look and see how the stress on this little capacitor is. Okay, well, looks like it might work. So now I've got to solder my little magnet wire. This one shouldn't be as hard now that the main one's in place. Around, hopefully without breaking anything. Oh, great. Let go. So you can actually see what I'm going to do. We'll zoom in a little bit. Let's go. Getting a little excited here. This is the end of the line. So to speak. If I do this right and it works, I'll be happy. That's about all I can do with this receiver. Okay, so I'm going to want to give it a little bit of slack. Don't want it to rip off. That's the last thing I want. This little wire to rip. I mean, okay. Big capacitor can be stressed a bit, but this little guy, I know. This is not what I want. This is like a 30 gauge, 32 gauge magnet wire. So it's pretty thin. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yep, got some leeway there. Okay. Getting the soldering iron in there is going to be another challenge. I'm burning the tape. I might burn a little tape. Yep, burn it up, I'm burning tape. Oh. Okay, well here, I'll lift it up. I'll solder it then, and then I can push down a bit, and it will have automatic leeway. Okay, there we go. It's resting nicely, and a little plastic bump, even though it's kind of been exposed. So yeah, I don't want that little magnet wire contacting anything else. Now, the whole point of this is to eliminate these antenna-like properties, so can't have that. Well, come back. Can't have that long thing. I'll have to leave a little bit of length, but I'm going to couple it pushed in with the other wire. So, I mean, I've got to have those two wires there anyway. So there we go. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put this thing back together. But first I'll give you a close-up of what I did. Okay, so got that soldered directly to that capacitor. I got that little magnet wire with some flex. So there, and when it's pushed down, it will hit that black thing. So don't think it's going to short anything. And of course we have that other little wire I soldered and invisible. So now I'm putting this in there and hoping that it will fit. I already tested it once. It looks like it will. But it's not an easy fit. Okay, well, here we go. Flip this around. Gently use the key. Just push it in there. Doesn't want to fit again. There we go. Okay, so when I push it a little more, it's resisting a little bit. How's it looking there though? I can't see. Alright, I'm going to pull this out. Take a look. Get on that little magnet wire. Well, that magnet wire, nothing's wrong with that. It's getting, the magnet wire is getting pushed like this, so it's getting smashed into the board almost, the plastic thing. The capacitor is the one that's pulling out a bit, or trying to. Of course, it can't really do that, but it's got that big foam thing down there that's helping to cushion everything. Okay, so this is pretty tight in there. There we have it. Okay, well, let's just put everything, do a quick look around and see. Oh, fine. Can't have things like this. It's got to be proper. Okay, the little nubby things are there. That's important. Holds the battery, of course. Looks like you're looking pretty good. I don't see anything wrong with it. So, a little bit of a final check. There's the mechanism for releasing, and the thing rockets out of there. Do I have this thing in right? I guess that's the only way it goes in. The switch is rotate the vibrator. Scratching a little bit. You know what? I'm at it. A little bit of oil there. Oh no! Oh, I always oil things too much, especially with that can. Ah. I guess that wasn't a good idea. Oh, great. probably gonna have problems with that because it's gonna, the oil, even though it's very thin, it's gonna prohibit it from vibrating probably. I just gotta keep getting this oil off. Okay, well, let me get the oil off and I'll come back to you. Okay, that seems okay. So, now to get these little mechanical things that I lost. Get away from me, oil can. Okay, this, I've had a little trouble with this wiring assembly. That it won't let the tray close, but I can always reach into the battery compartment and make it close. Okay, so there we go. Receiver looks good. Okay, that working so far. What? No. That's part of it. A bit of a hindrance. No. This thing is being rebellious. Doing wrong. No, it's got to go farther in. First things first, secure that. Or a little better at least. Push this in, secure it more. Go in. Oh, the board wasn't even in the right place. There we go. Now it's good. Now it's good. Leave those wires lit. Maybe I should concentrate on going from the bottom up. Okay, little nubs are there. What is in here now? Super hard. Oh, what was that? Oh, but didn't do any damage. Good. This wire isn't in the way anymore. What is... Something doesn't want to go together. It's not up there. Maybe it's a shield. There's something going on. Now let's try this again. See what the problem is. Now we've got another problem. Come on. Go back into the little socket. Maybe it's best to go from the top down. I think I had the most success that way. Okay, top secure. Oh, I forgot these things. They've got to line up. That's one thing that could have been a problem. Yeah, those got to line up. Oh, okay. Well, looks like it's all together to me. So I'm going to put the 2 screws in. And then, well, I'm going to take it outside and test it. First, to see if it even turns on. Never had a problem with that, so. No problem with that. Okay, so we got a repaired laser tag gun, and we'll see if it's really repaired.